Hi Taurus, and a happy new year to you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It truly means the world. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. And before we start, I would like to bless all of my decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the cards have in store for you. Let's have a look. So your actions and your interactions, sorry, I just had a whole bunch of them turn over there. Your actions and your interactions with the world at large in the month of January 2019. How exciting, a brand new year. So let's have a look. You've got the Two of Wands. I love this for you. It's about affluent people, but it's also about ground that you haven't tread before. This card always asks you to choose between your past and your future. And I kind of feel like, you know, for all of us, especially given what last year was and the last however many years, this is about you choosing what is new, what is next, where do I go from here? And this card always asks you to think outside the box. It asks you to come from, it's not about forgetting where you come from, it's about knowing where it is that you want to be. It's about knowing where it is that you want to go from here. This is about affluent people. It's about rubbing shoulders with the movers and the shakers. And when I see this card, for me, it's always the Tarot's way of saying, is what you have now worth what you could have if you pushed beyond your comfort zone? Taurus, I know you don't like change. I myself am an Aquarius sun sign, so I too am a fixed sign. I'm not fixed earth, but you know, not like you guys, but I get it. This card is basically saying to you, you need to think about new people, new places and new things. And this isn't, you know, indifference to the Fool card that just kind of puts the surprise in your plate. This card asks you to go out there and seek it. This is a card of deep action, you know, and you've got this in your action and your interactions. This is about you really seeking to get out there and start aligning yourself with the kind of people that are going to facilitate your dreams, but also putting yourself in environments that are going to shake up your personal energy and your personal lifescape. And I really love this for you. It's a really exciting card for you to have. Let's have a look at your money and your materials, your resources in the month of January. Okay. You've got the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this is interesting because it suggests here communication, you know, over the airways, emails, text messages, phone calls, all of it. You know, this is going to be a really busy month for you, for absolute sure. You know, it's absolutely going to be a busy month for you. But I also feel not only are you mentoring, but you are learning from somebody as well. And I kind of feel like you've got this amazing kind of back and forth going on. It's almost like there's a lot of, you know, there's lots of information flying your way. Like I said, you know, and this isn't just about the rush that you have when you get back to work in January and you've got to catch up on emails and stuff. This is very much about what you know, this is about the communication that you want. It's about you seeking out. So the Two of Wands sees you making these moves, right? You are putting the feelers out. You're kind of pushing to align yourself with certain types of people. The Eight of Wands then comes in and says, not only will communication be coming thick and fast and will be happening 10 to the dozen, it also says that you will be busy working on the things that you want to be working on. You know, even if you've got a full-time job, it's almost like you'll have the time and the energy to be doing your own side hustle at the same time. This is very much about what do I want, what do I need, and more importantly, it's about you finding the right people and having the right types of communication in order to facilitate that. So communication holds the key to improving your resources in the month of January. If there are people asking for your help, give it. And the reason I say give it is because while you are teaching somebody something, the chances are you will be learning a lot in return, and there's going to kind of be this back and forth. I also feel for a lot of you as well, you're hearing from overseas or from a distance about something that can be quite lucrative for you. I kind of feel like January is going to be a good month for you in terms of finances, but the information about the finances comes from somebody at a distance to you. This feels very much to me like almost like you're going to be asked to travel for something that involves money, whether this is speaking at an event, whether it is you know, writing a program program for somebody. I kind of feel like you're putting together a body of work of some kind that's going to help people. But ultimately, the feeling that I get is the more you teach, the more you're going to learn. And that's really, really exciting because it's going to be great for your bottom line. So your communications with the world at large, let's have a look. You get the Eight of Swords. This is interesting. So Taurus, I kind of feel like because everything's going to be so busy, your communications, you know, it's interesting that you've got the Eight of Swords right next to the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Swords is about constriction, confinement, and being held back. It kind of suggests to me that you're going to be very reserved in what you say. And my advice to you is this: if you come from a lack mindset, or this mindset of, oh, somebody's going to steal my ideas or somebody's going to steal my work, you'll block your own flow of being able to say what's important. And I really feel like this is about your self-talk as opposed to the talk that you have with other people. I kind of feel like, you know, with the Eight of Wands in your money and your materials, you're doing all the right things to create money, to create wealth, to create abundance. And, you know, you're speaking with people in the best way and you're giving other people praise and building them up. But your self-talk in January almost feels like it's going to be counterproductive. And it's interesting then that you've got the two eights as a mirror. 8 in terms of its numerology is about power, but it's also about business, finance, and acquisition, financial acquisition through business. So how you interact with people is going to be really important, but more importantly than that is the self-talk that you're having while you're communicating with people. And to give you an example, you might deliver an amazing piece of knowledge to someone and be like, oh, you know, you're a brilliant student, well done for picking this up, like, you know, your good points are this, this, and this. And then you'll go home and be like, oh yeah, well, the way that you delivered that was shit, and, you know, you could improve on this, and actually that one troll that you had that said this is actually right. There's no point in that. It's counterproductive. You need to be the knowledge, the information, and the expertise that you're bringing to the world, and the way that you're changing other people's thought patterns and thought processes about things is the way that you need to communicate with yourself. So it's interesting as well, because I don't feel like this is about your communication with others. It's about your self-talk. It's about how you talk to yourself and how you respect yourself. Not saying that you don't. What I'm saying is that might come under fire, and it will be revealed to you so that you can make the change. And I love that. You know, it's actually a good thing. It really is. You know, when something is highlighted to us, even if it is uncomfortable, the fact that it's been highlighted means that you have the ability to change it. The fact that you're having this tarot reading gives you an ability to change it, if you should so wish, or if you can apply the right type of energy or thought pattern. You know, and that's one of the beauties of the way that tarot works. So your personal relationships, really? Look at this. You got the 10 of Cups. For those of you that are single, this is going to be a great month of connection, because you're feeling personally really good about love. It's kind of like, I feel like Taurians, I know, dare I say it, you're going to be feeling really gushy this month. Like, you know, oh, I love this, I love that. It's not going to be like, you know, this is the month where you're not going to be hitting the like button. You'll be hitting those hearts and that love button, and you're coming from that place on an internal level. Interestingly enough, this is the dichotomy then. Your self-talk doesn't match your emotional vibration. So there's something in there that you obviously need to catch. To check this as well on another interesting, you know, thought train as well that I'm on now with the numerology. But let's talk about this. If you are married or you're partnered, I kind of feel like your other half, it just has it for you this month. It's like any moment that you're like, I can't do this, or it's not working, they're going to be like, I got you, giving you like a gentle nudge and a touch of love and you know, a kind word or anything like that. I really feel like your partner, for those of you that are married, partnered, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, husband, wife, all the rest of it, your partner really has a support for you. And January is going to be a golden month for relationships. For those of you that are talking about your familial relationships, like your personal interactions, I feel like this is the month where you get the sorry. What you do with that sorry is up to you. Now I'm going to say this to you because I kind of feel like you will get an apology, whether it's for something that somebody said while they were drunk over Christmas or whatever. You know, the fact that you've got the 8 of Swords there and the 10 of Cups next to it, If you hang on to what they did or how they behaved, you personally won't move forward, and it will be you that carries it. If you get an apology this month, take the apology, draw a line under it, and call it a clean slate. But make sure the other party knows that you are doing that, you know, and especially, you know, cement that within yourself, because it will only benefit you in the long run. Now, to go back to this, I find this really interesting. You've got the 10 of Cups here, you've got the 8 of Wands here, but you've also got the 2 of Wands here. So if you counted this together, it would give you 10. Got 2 10s there, and this kind of feels to me like the peak experience of the month happens between fire and water, right? And fire and water, when they mix, it gives you steam, which is able to power things, but it's also about giving you almost like a misty, mystical haze. I guess that's the way that I see this. And what I feel from it is it's going to be a really potent month. I feel like there's something that you're wrapping up this month, and you will see the end of it, and you're going to be like, wow, do you know what? I didn't think I was going to be able to finish that. There is something in your midst that you've been working on for a while. I feel like in January, somebody will give you the missing piece, and the biggest way that it will come is through your money and your resources, which comes through interaction or mentoring other people. I kind of feel like in the process of giving knowledge and in the process of giving knowledge or imparting knowledge onto somebody, you will gain something back in a really, really big way, which is really exciting. So your first week of January, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. Couldn't ask for any more than that, because it's about luck, it's about abundance, but it's also, whenever I see the Wheel of Fortune, it's always about the luck that somebody has earned finally coming back to them. You know, so which is why they always say, be careful what you sow, because as you sow, you shall reap. The first week of January, really great. You know, anything speculative, whether it is gambling, whether it's the stock market, all of that stuff. I mean, it kind of looked really good. Between the 5th and the 7th though, I would ease off. So right at the beginning of the month, you know, right at sort of like from the 1st right up until about the 3rd or 4th, you know, is a good window for doing things. But astrologically, between the 5th and the 7th, not necessarily so great. But it's kind of like you're having a peak financial experience right out of the gate of the first month of the year, which is beautiful. And it also suggests that it's almost like you're creating your own luck. Second week of January, you got the World card. Now that is really powerful, especially underneath the 8 of Wands. Something that you're doing or working on, Taurus, is about to go global. It is going to have some very far-reaching ripples, and my advice to you is, it's not necessarily, like I said, about remembering where you're coming from. It's about understanding where it is that you want to go. And with the World card in the second week of January, this feels to me like there's a big expansion going on here. You've got Jupiter in the Wheel of Fortune, luck and abundance. You've got the World card here. This is about something going big, and because it falls underneath the 8 of Wands, this is about you reaching more people than you ever thought you would be able to. I kind of feel like your message goes far. This, you know, this could very well be a month where you go viral. Make sure it's for the right reasons. Third week of January, you got the Empress. This is you. You come up in your own spread, in your own reading. Yeah, you know, right underneath the 8 of Swords, your self-talk, your emotional vibration is on point. What you're saying to yourself and how you're talking to yourself, it's almost like I hear you snapping at yourself and saying, oh, well, that's not good enough. And you wouldn't do that to somebody else, so why do it to yourself? The third week of January is a great month for you. It's going to be about beauty. It's going to be about harmony. I feel like the third week of January is going to see you traveling as well. And if you're not traveling, then you are planning a trip that is going to happen at quite a distance to where you usually are. It's about you being in a different environment to the one that you're used to. And then finally, the fourth week of January, you've got the Hierophant card. Beautiful, because you're locking in the results. This is really interesting because the Hierophant is about the establishment. It's about making something real. The Empress is bringing it into the world. The Hierophant is establishing it, making it, making it so. This is great, especially underneath the 10 of Cups. This is marriage proposal for those of you that are single or in a boyfriend-girlfriend sort of relationship. This feels like the status change. This is where someone says, you know what, Will you marry me? It could be where you decide that actually you do want to marry somebody, or you want to be with them long term. The fact that this falls underneath the 10 of Cups as well, this is about ultimate wish fulfillment, but it's something that happens on the physical plane. This is something that happens in real life. This is something that happens, you know, on terra firma. Which is really, really exciting. There's definitely something happening in your material world, Taurus, and I really, really like this for you. For a lot of you, it could just be reaching a final dream of purchasing an item that you have been longing to buy. For some of you, this will be about buying a home, you know, or putting a mortgage down, for sure. I absolutely feel that. January is going to be a peak experience, and I feel like it comes out of the blue. And the reason I say that is because the Wheel of Fortune in the World card suggests that everything that you thought you know isn't necessarily correct. And I really like that, because it means that the universe is going to give you like a little bit of a curveball. Like, hey, you thought you knew what was happening, but you don't. Your key to the month this month, you got the Devil card. Do not overindulge. Do not convince yourself that you are invincible. There's going to be so much energy in January, you know, like I talked about at the start of this video. There's going to be so much energy and passion and drive for everyone in all ways, shapes and forms. Don't do what you usually do and just go at it hammer and tongs, you know, and then crash and burn. This is time to take it slow, but you know, and this is interesting as well, because Aries had a similar message, but with the Devil card, this is talking about something that you have, it kind of runs away with itself, and we forget that we're in control. You know, that's how all addictions work, which is what the Devil card symbolizes. Don't be so attached to the outcome. And I know that's really hard. Like I said, you know, I too am a fixed sign. Don't be so attached to the outcome that you force the universe to use a bottleneck to get your blessings to you. Be open to how it could happen. Fuck off this negative self-talk. You do so much good and so much happiness, and you know, and you give so much to other people in so many ways. You've got to give that back to yourself. Like I said, your emotional vibe is on point. Your financial, material vibe on point. You've got your head and your eyes and everything focused on your future, but your self-talk is the one thing that this month is basically saying to you, you got to sort that, and you got to sort it now. Taurus, have an amazing month. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you very soon for more videos.